Hi everyone, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your yin yoga practice where we're going to focus on heart openers, chest, and shoulder openers. But you don't really need a lot of props today for today's openings. You might want to bring a block with you. We're going to get started. We'll get started in Sukhasana, an easy pose, the seated position of your choice, and class starts in just 2 minutes. So make your space smell nice, put some lights on that make you happy. I'm going to turn this light off actually. Grab some water before class if you find that you need it, and see if you can even make it through the whole class without drinking any water. No? Okay, that's fine. You don't have to have it. I'm going to take a quick sip of water before we get started. And I'll meet you on the floor in just 1 minute. Okay though, because let's turn this off. Welcome everyone, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and we're going to get started in today's yin yoga practice. If you love Blue's Clues and you happen to see my other timer around, which I've been looking for a couple days now, just let me know if you see it. I don't see it. All right, well, and then close your eyes. We're sitting in any seated position that feels good for you. I think I'm gonna bring myself up gently on this meditation cushion. Helps to open up those hips a little bit more. Sometimes it feels good to just be a little lifted. All right, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Mellow out to the sound of Fred eating peanuts. We're gonna hang out here just focusing on our breath for 2 more minutes. As you're starting to settle into your breath here, notice how your body feels today. See if you can use your exhales to relax or release any tension, to make any adjustments that you need to create as much lift from the crown of your head, maybe even a slight engagement of your belly to make sure you're not overarching your back. Keep those shoulders relaxed down away from your ears. Think about why it is that you came to class today. Maybe you just came to have a break. Maybe you have something that you're just trying to get some space from. We're going to create some space physically, mentally. If your thoughts happen to stray, bring them back to your breath. Make sure that guides all of your postures throughout today. Long, slow, deep inhales and exhales. All right, we're going to come into our first heart opener of the day, make your way into tabletop. You might want to keep a prop nearby. If you don't have a block, but you have a pillow where you can roll up a towel, we're coming right in strong with a melting heart pose. So do your best to keep your hips stacked on top of those knees. As you walk your hands forward, I'll bring the timer, don't you worry, and melt your heart down to the floor. You can always walk your hands out a little bit wider. You can keep your head down towards the floor to take out a little bit of the stretch, but if you can, stretch your chin forward. Work to get those hips about on top of your knees. I'm just gonna carefully tuck my shirt in for modesty. All right, y'all, we've got 3 minutes from right here. So do your best to stay here in the posture. We're finding a big stretch in the low back, big time in the openness of the shoulders that allows you to get down here to the floor. So if you're really tight, make sure you use that prop to find some support to relax here as much as you can. Where can you bring some relaxation? To the fingers, to the toes, to the glutes, and even to the belly. Stay as relaxed as possible in your breath. Do your best not to fidget here. There's no need to go any deeper in the posture or so deep in the posture that you find you need to keep coming out. Find that in-between place where you feel a stretch and a challenge. It might be noticeable, it might be uncomfortable, but it's not painful and it's not limiting your ability to take those slow, deep breaths. Final minute. Find your drishti, your focus. If your eyes are open on one spot, and if your eyes are closed, just relaxing in your breath. Take your time. You can walk your hands closer to your shoulders. Press yourself back for a moment. Move any props that you brought to the floor out of the way. And then we're going to pull ourselves forward. Bring your belly to the floor. And then press into your hands, palms. Lift yourself up into seal. If this is too much for you, try walking your hands out a little further. And if that still happens to be too much for you, you can release your elbows down to the floor and come into Sphinx. Can you still keep that chin gently lifted and forward to find more of a compression in that lower back? You start to lose it a little as those shoulders round forward if your head comes towards the floor. But find what feels like you can hold it. What was that? Without any interruption or intermission. But remember, if things move from being uncomfortable to being painful, then you're welcome to find a little bit of a change. We got 2 minutes left. Relax your glutes, relax your quads, relax your hamstrings. Tops of the feet down on the floor, the feet are relaxed, your toes are relaxed. It's normal to feel shaking or trembling, even in the stillness that you're creating. Hanging out in postures for a lot longer than we normally do to help get that deeper stretch. Muscles, ligaments, tissue, even the bones, everything's getting a stretch, especially the mind. Doing your best to stay present, to relax into the tension. There's just a couple of breaths left, I promise. On your next exhale, if your elbows aren't already bent, bring them down towards the floor. Bring your palms in towards each other. Place your forehead on your palms. Bend your knees. Take an active moment to windshield wipe your legs. Relieve any tension that built up in your lower back. And next up, we're going to go for broken wing. Getting a nice stretch in the shoulder. Then we're also going to get a stretch in the back or in the I'm going to give you so many options. It's going to be so great. A little in each direction is coming up. All right, so go ahead, extend your right arm to the side, keeping that right hand palm in line with your shoulders. Bring your left hand close towards your chest, and you get to control how much you roll over to the right side. Good. How much you roll over to the right side to create that stretch through the right. Relax your head down to the floor. We're just going to hang out right here. You can do whatever feels good with your left hand. You can keep it in close as a little bit more of like a kickstand or stability. Or you can extend it all the way out towards the side and see how the further your arm comes away, the bigger the stretch also comes through those lats into your lower back. Find what works for you. Relax into it. We'll be here for 2 more minutes. You can always open those legs. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving, so find that spot to focus your eyes, find your drishti, or simply close them to eliminate the distractions. you extended your opposite hand, bring it back in close towards your chest. Close those legs if you went for a clamshell. Take your time, carefully roll back over onto your belly, no rushing, and go ahead, extend, reach out. Let's come into the opposite side. So bring your right hand in close towards your chest. Make sure your left hand palm is in line with your shoulder. Take your time as you roll over on your hip. You can bend your knees for a little bit of support. You can keep your right hand close to your chest. To minimize the stretch, you can walk it away. To make it a little bit deeper, or clamshell those legs to bring it more through the back. Find what feels right for you today. We have a little bit over 2 minutes right here. And remember, we're working to be as still as possible. So sure, you might be able to come into a deeper stretch, but can you hold it without moving, without fidgeting? It's not easy. It's not easy to stay completely still. Maybe you've got this class, thought I made it, or other flexibility. You look like a breeze, but just like flexibility is something that incrementally builds, so is the stillness. I promise that on the weekends or after work, I'll sit down to watch a 30-minute program, and it takes me like 2 hours to watch one TV show because I'm really terrible about just sitting still and relaxing, unless it's yoga. I know, it's weird. But in yoga, the big focus to our breath that isn't there in other times of the day is really the answer that I think we're all seeking to feel better. We got 1 minute left. Honestly, I think that that's why smokers like smoking, because you extend your breath. Especially people tend to extend their exhale, which is what I'm always talking about. So if you just pretended and just focused on your breathing, we'd all feel so much better and be so much healthier. All we have to do is breathe. All right, I think that's the end of 3 minutes. Go ahead, bring those legs back together, walk your hand back in. If you changed it up, roll onto your belly. Yay, we're gonna press ourselves up into table. Oh no, we're not gonna press ourselves up into tabletop just yet. We're gonna hang out here on the floor again for cat tail pulling. But this time, instead of extending our hand behind us, we're gonna take a minute and just kind of roll over onto our sides. Roll around your sides. You can even press yourself up on your forearm. Go ahead, take your lower leg. So if you're like me and we're hanging out on our left side, you're gonna bend your left leg and reach for it with your right hand. All right, and then you're gonna lower yourself down on the floor. See if you can get both shoulders on the floor. And already you're gonna feel a stretch, but as you extend your right leg out and work to bring it in line with your hip, wow. Big time stretch right here. We're only gonna hang out for 1 more minute. Remember, you're just coming as deep into the stretch as you can stay. So if you couldn't bring your leg in line with your glute or like parallel to the mat, that's fine. What can you do? Do you still feel a noticeable stretch somewhere within your body? Are you still breathing and just relaxing? Awesome, then you're doing it right. All right, we're gonna carefully release. So go ahead, take this extended top leg and carefully draw it in so you can, with control, release your lower leg. We're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So you're gonna roll over onto your opposite side. And you can brace yourself on your forearm as you bend both of your legs, reaching down behind you. You lower yourself onto your back, you reach down behind you, and you grab hold of your lower leg with your top hand. And then you can extend your top leg and draw it like amazing sand. Oh my gosh. So do your best to get that foot in line with your hip, which was a lot easier for me. Oh my gosh. On the other side than it is here. I lost the timer, y'all. I found the timer. All right. We had time to set ourselves up on both sides, so we've got 1 minute left from right now. Relax. Actively start that relaxation through the glutes and see how that helps you to start to just feel a little less tension in your back. One spot to focus your eyes or close them. 3 more really slow breaths. All right, after that exhale, go ahead, bring both of your legs back together. Carefully release your lower foot. Roll onto your belly, and this time we get to press ourselves up into tabletop. All right, you have 2 different options coming up for this next stretch. You can either hang out here with your legs in tabletop, or if you want to get a stretch more towards those inner thighs and outer hips, you're going to keep your toes together and walk those knees out. All right, so we're coming into not quite frog, but tadpole with our toes still together. And from this tadpole, we're going to take a delightful twist. So go ahead, inhale your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Come with me, timer, and exhale, come on into a nice thread the needle. So as you press your hips towards the back of the mat, especially as you came into tadpole, you'll feel more of a stretch through those inner thighs, and you can walk your left hand forward and either bring your chin to the floor to get a little bit more of a stretch through both of the shoulders, or even keep that left hand on the floor. Keep the stretch more in your upper back. 2 minutes right here. Take a wiggle of your fingers of your right hand. Work to wake up those extremities a little from we're cutting off our circulation just a little bit by pressing our shoulder into the floor. Press into your left hand palm. Lift yourself up. Slowly inhale the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Squeeze those shoulder blades and exhale right hand down towards the floor. Beautiful. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring the left arm under. Bring your head to the floor. Send your glutes towards your heels. Find what feels good with your right hand. Either support, stretching it out, relaxing. I like this little support to activate through the shoulder and the lat a little bit more. 2 minutes right here. Bring a wiggle to your fingers once again of your extended hand. Take your time, press into your right hand palm. Lift yourself up. Extend your left arm all the way towards the ceiling and exhale. Release it down towards the floor. Bring those knees in. If you went for tadpole, and give yourself a couple cat-cows right here. Tuck your chin towards your chest. 1 minute of free movement. Pretty funny. Just find the stretch that your body needs. Next up, we're going to come into caterpillar. Just a couple postures here towards the end of class. Last 3 postures, and we're going to try a final breathing exercise today as well. Cool. Go ahead, take your time, release yourself onto your glutes. Send those legs out in front of you. Coming into caterpillar. All right. Find that a little bit of a hinge in your back to bring your belly towards your thighs. Can you get there without also walking those glutes back? Can you just find that lifted length and a slight forward hinge? You can release your hands to the floor. You can use a prop here as well to place your belly or your chest on a prop. You can find some, checking my shirt tuck. You can find some rounding of that lower back. And what feels good for you? Spending about 3 minutes in each posture today. Giving us 2 minutes left here in this caterpillar. If this is still too much for you, if the tension is too great on the back of your legs, lift your hips up onto a prop. Being lifted onto a prop and finding a gentle forward fold can be much more accessible than straight legs on the floor. In fact, since this is yin, feel free to allow those toes to stretch towards the end of the mat, which can bring a little bit of a release as opposed to flex towards your face. But if it feels good to find that slight flex and extra stretch, then you are welcome to hang out there because this is your practice. Just about 1 minute left right here. Creating some big space in the lower back and the back of the legs. This caterpillar is just like the dangle that we do when we're standing. It's a great way to work towards straightening those legs more and getting your hands closer towards the floor. But they don't have to get there today because you can keep that bend in your elbow. It's a great opportunity to practice belly towards the thighs without having to balance. Take your time, begin to walk yourself in. We're going to lay down on our backs and come into a reclined butterfly. So bringing the soles of those feet in towards each other. Relax yourself down on the floor. If you want to get a little bit more of a chest opener, you can even use a block here at the upper back. Then you might need a prop for your head to relax towards the floor. Or not. All right, we're gonna be here for, once again, 3 minutes. I want you to relax as much as you can through the belly and the back. You might need to even walk your heels further away from the center line of your body. If you notice, I don't have my heels anywhere as close to the body as I would if we were doing the same posture upright. And for me, it's a constant reminder to not find that overarch in the back, especially the low back, and to relax here. But everybody is different and every day is different. So find what works for you with the stillness that you can continue to hold for the next 2 minutes. little stillness, wiggle your fingers and toes. If you lifted yourself up on a prop, bring your legs together, take your time, roll over onto your side carefully, remove that prop, and then back onto your back. Oh, what's happening here? Draw those knees in towards your chest. Keep your lower back down on the floor. For a little knees to chest pose, your legs can stay nice and wide. If it feels better to even grab hold at the back of the legs or be in some version of happy baby, you're welcome. You are welcome to do that as well. We've got 2 minutes right here. How much can you relax your shoulders on the floor? Get as much of the back of your head and neck on the mat as possible. So a slight tucking of the chin, which might end up giving you double or triple chins, but that's okay. Especially if you find that you sit at your computer and you strain your chin away from you, or that when you're driving, you're pulling your head forward, taking a moment here on the floor to work to get as much of the back of your head and neck flat can be a really great release from that opposite movement imbalance. And then relax through your chest. Relax through your upper and mid back. Truly taking the time to work down your body one section of a time at a time helps. And then rescanning to see where the tension came back, because it comes back. Remember, it's practice, it's not perfect, and we're just working to be as relaxed as possible, and some days it might be a little easier to relax than others. Alright, we're going to sit ourselves up, so you can either roll to the side or maybe you roll up and down. Take your time to get there. Giving myself a little back massage on the way because I'm worth it. Okay, alright, so here we are. I promised you a fun little breathing exercise, so next up we're going to do hummingbird breath. So I want you to bend your knees and bring the soles of we'll bring the soles of the feet towards the floor and bring your heels a little closer towards your glutes. And we're going to take a moment right here. I'm going to take my glasses off because we're going to cover our eyes, but you're going to rub your hands together. This is a great stretch. It's not really a stretch. It is. It's a great stretch in the legs. But you can sit at your desk and do this same thing with your hands and touch your eyes to just relax your eyes if you've been staring at your computer for a long time. So once we've rubbed our hands back and forth like a couple times, you can start to feel that warmth in your hand. I want you to use your elbow area to press into the outside of your legs as you bring your hands to your face. Don't really press against your eyes. You can make a nice little bubble with your hands close to your eyes. Find a little pressure of your fingers tucked to your head. On your next exhale with your mouth closed, I want you to gently hum. Let's do it 4 more times, a total of 5. Inhale in, exhale, hum. that chest a little bit more last two. Once you finish that fifth breath, take your time, release your face and your hands from each other. Carefully lay yourself down on your back and come into your final Savasana. You can keep your knees bent if you need to. You can extend your feet all the way out. You can keep them close. You can open them wide. Do whatever feels right with your hands. Simply relax on the mat as much as possible in corpse pose. So finding the ultimate stillness. We've got a total of 3.5 minutes left together, so let's spend 3 of them in complete stillness and silence. I hope you were able to enjoy the most amazing stillness, and we'll close out class today down here on the floor to encourage you to lay in Savasana for just a little bit longer, maybe even a little longer than you actually want to. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that I said or we did today, I hope that you will reach out. Thank you for participating in today's class. Joining us in class is one of the awesome boxes on our Summer Bingo Challenge. So you are 2 out of 25 boxes down because there is a free space. Let me know if you would like to join. Till we're together again, think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds, take the time to nourish yourself from the inside out. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Know that the light within me honors, sees, and is so thankful for the light within you. Let it shine. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and namaste.